Welcome to day 6 of our 2948 anniversary special. Chris is always drinking, and I'm Sandy Gardner.
And I'm Chris Roberts.
Today, we continue our biggest free fly event to date. We've been featuring a different Star Citizen ship manufacturer every day and making all their flyable ships available to test fly for free.
Anyone with an RSI account can get into the game and try out all the flyable ships. There's 80 of them in total. That's a lot of flying to do. But today, we're going to be focusing on alien and exotic ship manufacturers.
Yes, the Jean manufacturer Aopoa is unveiling an all-new concept ship, the Santok Yai Fighter.
Yes, medium fighter.
Medium fighter,
In fact,
yes.
the Santok Yai medium fighter with more guns, more armor, tougher than the K2L.
Oh, very cool. And to discuss all the ships of Aopoa and Esperia, along with Banu-made vessels, here are John Crewe, Cherie Heiberg, Chris Smith, and Jared Huckaby.
So our food to them is tasteless unless it's super, super spicy.
Oh yeah.
They love spicy food.
Right.
They do
What
really
kind of
like.
spices do they use?
They're all Xi'an spices, but they're really spicy.
So what do the Banu eat?
Banu eat anything.
And that's our great segue to talk about Day 6, Alien Day, the ships made from manufacturers outside the human race. So to start us off, why don't you tell us a little bit about what alien races we know of are there in the Star Citizen universe?
Well, there's the Xi'an, who we were in a Cold War with for a while. They're an ancient species. They live really long. They're about 100 years ahead of us, technologically speaking, so their ships are pretty cool. They do stuff that ours don't do.
Zigzag.
They zigzag, they go vertical, they're kind of organic inspired.
Okay.
There's the Banu, who are our first contact with aliens. We ran into a Banu fugitive in a system who totally told us that he was an all right dude and there's nothing to worry about.
Shady Banu?
He was not telling the truth exactly.
I feel like that's a setup for a joke.
Yeah.
A shady Banu walks into a bar.
They like scavenging technology. They like selling things that they've found. So Banu tech is kind of interesting because it could be a bunch of things crammed together.
So we got Banu and Xi'an. Who else are out there?
The Tevarin, who are a species that we went to war with a couple of times, eventually defeated them so decisively that they threw away their own culture, and now they are assimilated into UEE.
That's victory, I guess.
Yeah. And we have the Vandul, who we don't know much about, but we know they're jerks.
They don't like us.
They don't like us at all. They attack us for no apparent reason. We think that they might be scavenging our stuff like locusts and then moving on. We know they have really big, impressive ships. They have dangerous weapons. They used to be really easy to chase out, but then one day they got it into their heads that they were going to take our systems whether they liked it or not. So we've lost a few to them.
Well, they may have taken some of our systems, but we've taken some of their ships. Now, the Vandal were the source of the first 2 alien ships that we introduced to the Star Citizen universe. Talk to me about the Scythe and the Glaive.
So the Scythe was right there from day one.
Day
really.
one.
Yeah, it was one of the
Yeah,
first ships
it was
along with the Hornet.
in the original pitch trailer.
pitch, yeah.
It's got that asymmetric, the huge scything blade.
Yeah.
Had
With
that
a
alien
huge gun in
head.
it.
Or I mean, it already looked just like an
Yeah,
alien.
it just
you know,
looks alien.
like a species flying thing itself.
And it's sort of their medium fighter. So when the Glaive came out, which is essentially a scythe with 2 of those
Balanced.
balanced things, that's their heavy fighter.
The Glaive that we make available to the community is not a 1-1 Vandal ship. It's actually a reproduction
Yes.
from Esperia, right?
Right. Yeah, Esperia doesn't actually sell us like real authentic alien ships. They sell us the closest replica that's also adapted so that a human can pilot it.
And of course, you can get the Glaive. We talked about this before, how you can get the Pirate Caterpillar in an early day. There's a special way you can get access to the Glaive, too. Just like you get the Caterpillar Pirate from the Pirate Swarm, you get the Vandal Glaive from the
Vandal Swarm.
Vandal Swarm.
Hey.
From the Vandal Swarm. You complete all the waves of the Vandal Swarm.
All
you
15
get,
waves.
Yep, you get access to the badge, which allows the Glaive to appear on the store, and that's limited for the duration of the anniversary special. In addition to these alien ships that we already have, we actually introduced a brand new alien ship. Now this one isn't quite flight ready like the Arrow, that we introduced at the beginning of the promotion here, but I'm not even going to try to say it, so I'm just going to come to you. Tell me, what is this new ship?
Well, it's a new ship made by the manufacturer Apoa. It's a Xi'an shipmaking company. They named their company after a word that they thought humans would like, because they thought it was cool and symmetrical. It doesn't actually mean anything in Xi'an.
Okay.
And their new ship is called the Santokiai. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we already have a
character.
Xi'an fighter. Why do we need
Yeah.
another Xi'an fighter?
So this is the big brother of the Kato Owl. So it's still a single-seater, but it has much more firepower. It has 4 size 3 guns. They're Xi'an-specific guns. They'll be able to be swapped onto other ships, so they follow the same metrics as all the other weapons in the game, but they are made by a Xi'an company. And it has missiles built into it as well.
Now, you worked on the original Xi'an Scout. You built
Scout,
the original Xi'an Scout.
Yeah.
What were some of the influences in building that ship, and have you seen how they influenced the new ship?
Well, I mean, the early influence was basically off the concept that we got. It kind of looked different, didn't have the nose part
Yeah.
sticking out. It was just kind of this bubble thing with a little bit more rougher parts. It was like a refactor of the concept, which it gave it the pointiness and everything, and that kind of style that ended up being.
That sort of came from at the same time we were doing some Xi'an FPS weapons, and we were trying to unify like the style between them all, and those sort of ended up going more pointy and triangular.
Yeah, and triangular, and we're sort of nailing down the style guide at the same time
Yeah.
with that ship a little bit more.
So we got a brand new Xi'an ship called the.
Santokiai.
What
I
is
couldn't have said it better.
Neither could I. Got the existing Xi'an Scout, the Cartual. These ships, you mentioned earlier how they fly different, the new technology, 100 years in the future. Part of how we make that a reality is our new flight model. Now, it applies to every ship, 136 ships in the Star Citizen pantheon of spaceships. But the alien ships, how do they...
Very moving towards like how the ships visually look. So the human ships have big main engines and very small maneuvering engines. So if they want to do a turn, they're going to slide because those small maneuvering engines just don't have the power to arrest that slide. But the Xi'an stuff, they don't really have maneuvering thrusters. They're very small, if they even exist at all. But they have these huge pivoting main engines, and they're on these articulating arms, so they can just maneuver. They use them for their main thrust, retro thrust, and maneuvering. So rather than having to slow down to do sharp turns, they can literally strafe at full speed. Not instantly, but significantly quicker than
More
other ships.
effectively than
More
other ships,
effectively. So they behave very differently to the other ships.
Now, this new flight model that we've been working on that's coming online, it doesn't just affect the Xi'an ships
No.
or the alien ships. This is something that
So
affects the entire...
Every single ship, even like the little bikes, they behave differently. All the way up to capital ships, they're all taking advantage of this.
You said bikes. Bikes like the Xi'an Nox?
Yes, exactly.
You worked on the Nox, didn't you?
Yes, I built the Nox based off a very cool design that was made. As we were building it, we weren't sure how we were going to do the mechanical bits and stuff. We discussed like, hey, let's just do something completely different for this. Let's like have some fun with it, and basically, came up with the maglev stuff, and that gives us a whole nother, set of a whole nother freedom. You can move things. You don't have to connect them with mechanical arms, so you can kind of get a little fancy with some of the animations and stuff. And so we did that with the stairs and the door opening on the Scout, and then the MagTech stuff on the bike as well. That was fun.
Finally, before we wrap up, we got to talk about the Banu ships.
Yeah.
The Merchantman, fan favorite. The ship that's in development right now, though, for the Banu is the Defender. What can you tell us about the Defender?
Yeah, we're sort of departing a little bit from our traditional sort of modeling workflow with this one. We're wanting sort of this very flowy, if you think of,
It's like a skeleton.
Alien or like the Superman style, the spaceships is sort of very organic, and you have these strains, and it almost looks like rib cages on the inside.
And I think the most obvious difference is that the Defender is a two-person craft, and
Yeah.
they sit tandem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have those 2 seats there, sort of almost overlooking the arms, and we wanted to make sure you'd be able to look over left and right and stare at your compatriot and just working the ship together.
And just so that we don't sit there and ignore it, because a lot of people are going to wonder, when the Defender is our gateway to working
Yeah,
with something
so-
like the Merchantman.
Like we've talked about on other ships, like the Terrapin helps the Valkyrie, helps the Carrack. The Defender helps the Merchantman. So the Merchantman, again, was one of those ships that didn't really have its interior concepted out. So we had to do a huge amount of pre-production work to sort of work out what those rooms were. And we actually did a completely separate concept pass alongside the Defender. The same concept artists that worked on the Defender did a pass on the Merchantman as well. So when the Defender released, you saw like the Merchantman turned up in a load of the concept art as a result. So we worked on that, and one of the key things was getting the almost like the rib cage and the skeleton sort of just flowing.
The organic nature of it.
The organic nature of it. So once the Defender's done, that gives us a lot of, because it has an internal space, and we just expand on that on a huge scale for the Merchantman.
All right, guys. Well, that's about it. Thank you so much for taking your time to be here with us. Remember the Santiago, our brand new ship that we've introduced today, will be the Santiago.
What ship was that?
Santiago.
Brand new ship. You can learn more about that on our website, of course. So we got 10 alien ships in the Star Citizen universe, 6 of which are available now.
Hey!
Aliens.
Yes.
Orange
Aliens.
Thanks, everyone. Now get in the game and give those alien ships a test flight. Remember, each manufacturer's ships will only be available for 24 hours.
But you can still try the brand new Anvil Arrow throughout the length of the promotion. And remember to head to the IAE West going on right now in Lawville to check out the ships in-game.
Yes, and after checking out all the flyable ships from Arapaoa and Esperia, head to the website and take our anniversary special quiz, where you can show us how much you know about ships from every manufacturer. Your score might even get you into a drawing for the opportunity to win an Anvil Arrow.
Good luck on that, everybody. And that's it for today. Join us tomorrow when we'll keep the Jean Love going with the next manufacturer, the ships of Misk.
And there you go. And until then, have fun
and
fly safe. We'll see you in the verse.
Thanks for watching. For the latest and greatest in Star Citizen and Squadron 42, you can subscribe to our channel, or you can check out some of the other shows, and you can also head to our website at www.robertsspaceindustries.com. Thank you very much for watching.